Good afternoon. I am Precious Mzea Sakaleshi. Welcome to Camnet TV Midday News. The headlines. LUSAKA woman demands answers from UTH over the death of her baby. Government elated over the 100% turnout of pupils sitting for exams. Join me with the details after this commercial.
Cabbages, onions, maize, potatoes, tomatoes, chilies. At Rainglow, we supply great quality irrigation for the mentioned crops and more at an affordable price. Get our 2,000 meter flat drip for as low as 2,900 kwacha, or our 500 meter round hose for 1,300 kwacha. Customize your own spacing with our 500 meter blank round hose going for 1,200 kwacha, ideal for orchards such as avocado, mango, banana, oranges, etc. Rainglow irrigation, best quality, best price.
And now the Midday News in detail. A woman of Chibolia compound in Kanyama constituency has demanded to know what happened to her baby at the University Teaching Hospital UTH, stating that while she gave birth to a healthy baby on 31st October 2022, she was not allowed to see the baby and was only informed 2 days later that her baby was in the mortuary.
Still in pain and nursing her wounds as a result of delivery through cesarean section, 26-year-old Agnes Zulu of LUSAKA Chibolia compound in Kanyama constituency says she is burdened with a pain greater than that of her wound, which is not being able to hold her baby boy as he allegedly died in mysterious circumstances at the University Teaching Hospital UTH. Ms. Zulu explains that she, along with her family, are still perplexed about the circumstances surrounding the baby's death, as she gave birth on 31st October 2022 to a bouncing baby boy weighing 4.4 kilograms, as indicated on the records. She explains that after the cesarean section, her baby was taken to the nursery along with other babies, but explains that she was only informed 2 days later, after inquiry on the whereabouts of her baby, that her child was in the mortuary.
Chifuka kulera mimba 9 months ichintu chovuta maningi so nivera kuipa nifuna cha wonse wamene vazi vauti mwana yuja pamene zopapa enze chabe buno bwino hawe nikamwantandizira chifukwa chakuti iyi mimba inani baba ija ukamba chilungamo mwana enzo mkunezo kange wanoenda ura mai vali apenzo nuna pamene enzoenda kuenda sina enzoenda buno bwino iya ninange na muja mu dibro kuna tata wake wa mwana mimi natenga nange na wanuza tia hii sorry mami mwana na mwali la mailo 02 02 so time yose iwaisi mnaniuze anachoka mwachifundo nachoka kwa mapepa yamene wanatenga yakuti ati niona ati mapepa ya mwana apeze kati manamba mbuya kwa mwana wanasi yapanga mapepa yakuti si amene mapepa yakuti namba palibe kufunza mbuya kwa mwana namba simnasi ati namba tinasi so why simnatume phone kuti nindano amenezo saina kuti mwana aende kumochari.
Her mother Esna Chira says the family ran about asking for the whereabouts of the baby, adding that they were being referred from one doctor to another with no clear information. The woman says she is now demanding answers on the death of her grandson, adding that his body was compressed on one side in the mortuary, with fecal matter continuously coming out of his body and blood out of his nose.
Tinanya mukazona noenda kuja noendo mpeza mwana nshali mu mortuary. Tampeza pala it's okay asachani afa mwana tibolo shika mairo. Mairo akaenda kubolo tenga chitumbi. Tapeza chitumbi chichoka magazi mumpuno na mkama. Na kukwanja kwa magazi yakali kudonya. Mwana tabika chitumbi mwana matuvi yasachani yachoka ilo polo. Huku kumbali huku chafshantika huku kwa shitaso kwa fshantika huku. Tinakama nokamba ta. Huyu mwana ngati nikufshantika sembe anafshantika konse one side. Kale agonera one side. Huku alichobe bwino. Abolo fshantika ichicheka cha bendera huku. Ero kamsambika kaya naduzinga chani matuvi yakali kuchoka mtu wakufa. Tisambika paja. Hii tupi si nyang'anya si rangiza kuti uyu muntu ni wakufa. Mwenzo oneka chabe ni mwinangu manje tenzonyamula povadika na tumendo tanyamula tasambika na mafuta tamuzoleka tamuvadika taendoshika kumanda mamene vinaendera mwananchi.
Phone calls made to UTH Public Relations Officer Natalie Mashkolo went unanswered by broadcast time, but we will continue trying to get in touch with the hospital. The family has called for answers, adding that only a clear explanation will restore faith in the hospital. Zipporah Mshala, Camnet News, Lusaka.
Minister of Agriculture Reuben Phiri says farmers across the country will Thursday 10th November 2022 start collecting their inputs under the Farmer Input Support Program FISP. The minister, who briefed the media in LUSAKA Wednesday, has however stated that farmers who cultivate more than 50 acres of land do not qualify to benefit from the FISP program.
The distribution of the 2022 to 2023 farming input under the Farmer Input Support Program FISP has been marred with various challenges, among them the late delivery of the inputs by some suppliers to some farmers being removed from the program on reasons that they have benefited from the program for more than 5 years. Minister of Agriculture Reuben Phiri, who briefed the media in Lusaka Wednesday, has however announced that farmers will starting Thursday 10th September 2022 start collecting their inputs in various districts, and that representatives from each cooperative will be allowed to collect the inputs on behalf of the cooperative.
Inform the nation that the farmers will be allowed to start collecting inputs from tomorrow, 10th November 2022. So if we are farmers here, just know that the depots are opening up for us tomorrow, Thursday, 10th November 2022, across the country.
Meanwhile, the minister was quick to mention that government has begun the process of gradually removing farmers who have been on the program for more than 5 years to allow for other farmers to also benefit from the program.
We need to ensure that farmers to be graduated from the program on account of having been on the program for a long time are given ample time to prepare to purchase inputs from the open market. In other words, we are not just harshly saying, you have been in this program, go out all of you, and then we put you. No. We are saying those who have been receiving these inputs for say 5 years plus can now start leaving way for others. It is only a fair thing that we want to do. Otherwise, some have been on this program from 2002 when it started to today. Now, 2002, this is 2022. How many years is that?
Meanwhile, the minister says it will not be compelled to follow the implementation manual that was approved at the beginning of the program, adding that there has been new development in the sector.
Now, we are not going to be stuck with the manual. We are a bit late. We want the farmers to go and collect their inputs. In some of the areas, it is time, we've been told by the Met that it is time we can plant. We don't want to delay those farmers. So we will change the process and say, go now, allow a cooperative. The way I was using Honorable Kawana here, Mr. Kawana here, to say now Mr. Kawana is our chairman or is our secretary or our treasurer. We ask him to get our PIN numbers to go and redeem our PIN numbers so that he can come with our fertilizer on a track.
With the onset of the rain season already in effect, government says it has already delivered 55% of the inputs and that the remaining 45% will be delivered on time. Speaking of time, the rain season is already in effect, and all that the farmers are hoping for is to see to it that they receive the inputs in the shortest possible time. Prudence Chota.
Ministry of Information and Media Director spokesperson Tabo Kawana says the current administration is elated with the response from pupils towards the enhanced free education policy, stating that the country has for the first time experienced a 100% turnout for pupils sitting down to write grade 12 examinations.
While education has for long been regarded as a powerful tool to end poverty and bring development, progress towards United Nations Sustainable Development Goal of universal access to education for all by 2030 has been a challenge due to the financial aspect attached, causing most pupils, especially those in rural areas, to drop out due to this problem, coupled with the long distances to schools in some areas. According to the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, enrollment rates in the world Zambia included reduced during the coronavirus pandemic, as most parents opted to withdraw their children to help in economic activities. The enhancement of the free education policy by the current administration has therefore been seen as a welcome move, as this will help propel the education agenda in the country. Ministry of Information and Media Director spokesperson Tawokawana says the free education policy, which has come along with the paying of examination fees to the Examination Council of Zambia, ECZ, has resulted in a 100% turnout for all grade 12 sitting to write examinations in 2022. He was speaking to the media Wednesday.
So in this year's grade 12 examinations alone, the government has paid $22,500,000 to the Examination Council of Zambia for the purposes of examination fees on behalf of all the pupils. The government has also paid another 68 million kwacha to all schools across the country for the purposes of conducting the very exams. So this has resulted in 100% turnout for pupils coming out to write their exams, and this is extremely encouraging. And this has also turned out to be a fulfilled promise to the parents that were assured that with free education it would include examination fees for the pupils paid for in order to complete the equation.
Mr. Kawana further explains that the move is not a once-off arrangement, adding that it is to continue for as long as the United Party for National Development UPN administration is in office.
Remember that parents had questioned that yes, you have removed the PTA, you have removed the school fees, but our children still require to pay examination fees. And we had said to them that we will pay for the children, and we have paid. And this has resulted into this 100% turnout, because in the past a lot of pupils failed to turn up to write for their exams because they could not afford the examination fees.
Stakeholders are observing the education sector to ensure that the quantity of education delivered is in line with quality to meet even international standards. Zipporah Mshala, Camnet News, Lusaka.
In other news, Third Liberation Movement TLM Party President Enoch Tonga has accused most political parties in Zambia of formulating unrealistic party manifestos, all with the aim of trying to woo voters. In an interview, Mr. Tonga says, based on past trends, most political parties have struggled to actualize their manifestos, citing economic trends.
That is why it's very important the people of Zambia to see who are the vision bearers of these institutions. Additionally, we need to have law in place that will reprimand the politicians that like making promises, and on the way they shift when they are in the public office. That's the best way we can handle these matters of manifesto. So it is very important that we stick to the promises. Why? Because people vote for us based on the promise. But then if they change, they shift goalposts, they must be tried in the course of law. So we must introduce as a nation law in place that if Mr. Tonga gives you that I will be giving you 3 meals in a day or 3 eggs in a day, when I'm the president I happen not to give you those 3 eggs, I must be made to answer. It's as basic as that. So it is very significant, very important that political parties uphold their promises, because based on that Zambians vote, because they expect that when you deliver those promises, they will live their better lives. But if you shift away from that, it means you are destroying the agreement that you had entered into with the Zambians. So the bottom line is we need to put in the law in place to take care of those politicians who are liars when they get into public office.
LUSAKA woman demands answers from UTH over the death of her baby. Government elated over the 100% turnout of pupils seating for examinations. Thank you for watching. I am Precious Mzeya Sakaleji. Good afternoon.